Hi, my name is Leah J, and welcome to this video for the Free Motion Quilting Project. In this video, we're going to learn a new design. This one's called the Lava Rocks, and it's basically a variation of the stacking design overlapping petals. In that situation, we start with just a wiggly wobbly line and kind of pivot back and forth and build it up and stack that shape together. Well, in this video, I really want to try starting with a wiggly wobbly shape similar to cobblestones and take that shape and expand it the exact same way. It's still going to be a stacking design, I feel, because all of these shapes are stacking together in a very uniform, kind of matchy way, but it's got that free-form, beautiful element from overlapping petals. I think it's going to work out really, really beautifully. So let's get on the machine and see how this works in free motion. So to start out this design, I'm going to work just a little bit bigger today. Just kind of in the mood to work just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to start with my little cobblestone shape. And you can see it's just a very regular wibbly wobbly kind of circle shape. It's cobblestones. You know, it's basically kind of that irregular stone shape. Now we're going to kind of pivot around that back and forth. Just bouncing back and forth with that same overlapping petal shape that we learned quite a long time ago. You can see how this is going to expand it off the surface of the quilt. And I'm going to kind of send this off in this direction. You don't have to pivot around the whole thing. You don't have to continue those echoes in one set direction. That's the really nice thing. That's what makes this design so organic. Okay, so now let's stitch another cobblestone. Remember, that's just a wiggly wobbly shape. And pivot and work my way around it. And you don't even have to work your way around the entire shape. You can do something like this. And I guess I should have said I'm not really working bigger. I'm just creating almost kind of holes in the texture with those cobblestones. Because they're so large, they're going to create kind of little almost polka dots in the texture, and that's okay. It really depends on what you're looking for. Now I'm going to come on back and stitch another one. Just wiggle around. I always have to kind of consciously remind myself that I'm wiggling and not stitching a circle. It's one of those things. Cobblestones is always something that I have to really kind of think about a little bit, simply because that's not how my mind works. I really like stitching circles more than irregular shapes like this. Now the nice thing about this design is because we're expanding each one with these back and forth kind of pivot echoes, let's just call that a pivot echo, because we're pivoting and echoing around with each pass. Because of that, you can fill in all those little weird areas. Like right here, I've got this little strange area. I can just wiggle in there and fill it up, and it's going to continue to look pretty decent. Now, if you ever get a pivot echo that looks a little wide, like that one looked just a little wide to me, just stitch right back through the middle of it with another echo, and that will fill up the space a little bit more consistently. So now I'm going to form another one, and you can see how, because even though we have elements from really pivoting and echoing designs, two different families, this is working more like a stacking design because each shape is stacked together in this seamless fashion. Of course, does it really matter which design family this fits into? Absolutely not. It's kind of my categorical brain just really wanting to work and know where everything fits in the grand scheme of things. But it honestly doesn't matter. But you can kind of see where this is going. You can work it in rows, you know, really symmetrically. You could work this totally free form in all different directions and all different areas of your quilt. It honestly doesn't matter. There is one place that I would not use this design and express your love, and that is her body. And the reason is, when we finish this texture, I'm going to show you a picture of it, and you can see it kind of creates those polka dots, those cobblestone shapes is going to form kind of a darker area or an empty area in the texture. It's not going to be filled. And because of that, if you put it on her body, it might look like she has spots. And that would be kind of weird, I think. And a variation of this design, I'm just sitting here thinking right now, you could fill those cobblestone shapes with an internal echo, kind of a spiral similar to Foundation Puzzle, and that would fill it up completely, and she might not look quite so spotty in that situation. So I'm going to use this probably in the background area of the quilt. This particular ray coming right through her face has a lot of complicated areas in it, and that's going to be a design you want to use maybe a stacking design for, because you're going to be able to get into all those little spaces and put something in there, expand it slightly, fill in that space, but keep it consistent with the rest of the quilt. Something like a foundational design that we've learned, like, let's say, connecting ocean currents, would not be a design that works well in that space, because you're going to want to set the foundation of that curling spiral through the entire space, and you really can't do that because all those other elements are filling in and kind of getting in your way. It wouldn't look connected. It would look kind of weird. So I would definitely say that this is a good design to use in that spot right there. And here's a picture of what it looked like when I filled it that way on my quilt. So that's it for this video. I really hope that you've enjoyed learning Lava Rocks, this beautiful freeform design. You can find hundreds of free motion quilting videos on the Free Motion Quilting Project at freemotionproject.com. Until next time, let's go quilt.